Forgot to press the button again. Appreciate you guys. Daily bias is bullish. I want us to expand the daily SIBI for weekly objectives. We are in premium going into open. I want to see a run on some sell side before potentially moving higher. Pretty much it. No worries, brother. Appreciate you. Friend from Ukraine. Much love, my man. All the game plan and bias is here. I will say this. Daily bias is bullish. I want to see us expand to the daily SIBI, which is up here, for weekly objectives. Right, this is my objective for the week. So it may not happen today, but that's what I'm looking for. We are in a premium going into open, so we definitely could run out this low or this low. I wouldn't want to see this one, but it's possible. Obviously, we'll look at the dollar and we'll look at YM to help frame something high probability. We are in premium going into open. So the only thing for today is we just have to be patient. Dollar should sync with NQ, yeah, but it should sync like in reverse, like it's inverse correlation. You want to see a risk-off dollar or a risk-off situation. Okay, so that's the pre-market plan. So that I'll type that in. Oh man, why did it paste like that? There you go. You guys can read that, right? I just don't want to keep repeating it, so I'm just gonna put it here. This is what I have in my journal. That is buy side liquidity, London high. We'll mark that out. I recommend everyone always has some sort of plan going into open. Always got to mark out the levels on ES as well. We want to see what ES is doing so we can compare relative strength. So that's 8:30 open on ES. Well, we have midnight all the way over here. Mark that out. And then we have buy side on ES, same level of buy side on NQ. I'll leave that up there. Why is it a daily FEG? It's just there on the daily chart. All right, from here to here. That's all. There on the daily, nothing serious. Good, Noah. So all the plan is out. I didn't see the gear comments yet. Never responds to me ever. Blocked. Okay. What's good, Street Soda? What's good, Chairs? CC Harris or Chairs? What's good? Yeah, then what's a SIBI? SIBI is just a bearish fair value gap. You trade middle of high time frame fair value gap? Sure. It's not really significant to me. Yeah, a lot of mentors mention that daily buys kills your potential. What's your opinion on that? I don't really care what other people are doing, but for me, it's a very important tool. If you got to use it correctly, just like anything else. Why TopStep takes ages to pay out? I don't know. I haven't gotten one. I haven't been trading with TopStep for it's been a while. You think it will change much when the government is back? I think it'll just maybe you can expect some more normal, more precision into how quick does alpha. Bro, I've gotten all my alpha payouts within like a couple hours. Like it's almost always under 6 hours for me. For me at least. Depends on the method too, right? I use Wise. Forex or crypto? This is Nasdaq futures, brother. Is the giveaway done? No, we're still running. I'm still running the giveaway. So we could run to the daily XPG and then move lower, but I wouldn't expect it to reverse. Activation fee is 150, but if you get a zero account, then there's no activation fee. Yo guys, I gotta tell you guys something. It's gonna be fun. I wouldn't do the same because bias just helps you. I haven't been building buffers, no. I've just been requesting. Guys, I'm gonna give away $100 cash. Just flat. If you're not in the free Discord, $100 cash. We're gonna do it in the form of a free poker tournament. So listen closely. This Sunday, just say all in. This Sunday, 2 p.m. I'm running a poker tournament in the Discord, and the winner, $100 cash, flat out. It's gonna be free to join. You just have to be in the Discord server, which is also free. You don't have to bet anything. You don't have to do anything. I mean, you don't have to be in the Discord, but you do have to have the link to join, which is going to be posted in the Discord. I'm not going to post anywhere else. So if you guys want to be a part of that, it'll be fun. Just a fun little. It's going to take like maybe an hour, maybe two, depending how many people join. So it'll be a fun thing in the Discord. If you want to be a part of it, you can come through. We're still running the Alpha Futures account giveaway. If you use my code with Alpha Futures in November. Alpha, like, and if it does not work in Africa, that's okay, brother. Look, come play the poker tournament for free. Win $100, and when you win $100, code is Gatie. The code is just GATIE. Make sure you DM me. Listen, if you're gonna use my code, please message me on Discord that you use my code. Otherwise, it's not like an automatic thing. I can't add you into the giveaway unless you like tell me that you use my code. Then I can add you. Anyways, that's the announcement. So Discord cash giveaway this Sunday, 2 p.m. $100 prize, free entry, free Discord. You just have to be there and have fun. You just got to show up and have fun. And yeah, hopefully, and we'll keep doing it. Honestly, yeah, I mean, that's another one we're saying that. We're going to keep doing it. And if you want to join the Alpha Futures giveaway, There's only like 15 people in it right now, so you have a pretty good chance to win. I'm gonna give away. The more people that join, the more accounts I'm gonna give away. So I guess right now we'll do like 2. If more people join, we'll do 4. We'll just keep adding. So that's for November. If you want to join, let me know. And market's opening in a minute. So I'll post it. Gaddy, I use your code. Is there a giveaway? Yes. Please message me on Discord, brother. Poker is gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do the poker tournaments every week, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm on my accounts. I have all my accounts open. I do have an eval that I'm working on, but I have my accounts open as well. Do you use Take Profit Trader? Great question. I actually just got my first account with Take Profit Trader. I have an eval, and we're just gonna trade one mini on it and see how it goes. I do have my fundeds open. No, Elena is not my girlfriend. Please don't say that. I do have a girlfriend. I love her very much. Um, she's just a mod. Why can't I trade NQ on trading you? You gotta sign into Tradeovate. How do we do in the tournament? I'm gonna post a link on the weekend, and it'll just be click, and you're in the tournament. It'll show up. It's all automatic, super easy. It's very very simple. Just one click. Anyway, I do have all the accounts open. You have to pay for live data also. If you sign in with Tradeovate, you can't. It can be multiple tables. It'll like auto sort when people win and then they get moved. And it's all easy. It's all I've done it before. It's really nice. Appreciate you. Yeah, this is the chart cards I'm gonna run for a while. Anyways, we're gonna remove all this stuff so we can focus up. We're gonna drop down to the 1 minute time frame. Make sure we sync intervals here. And in my opinion, the key for success today is just to be patient because although I'm still bullish on the daily. We don't want to take an early long. We don't. It may not happen in the morning session. Now we take out sell side and we have sell side here as well. That's all fair game. We could go lower there, and that wouldn't kill my narrative personally. So we could, that's a pretty strong candle. So if we can follow through, I'd probably want to see some sort of reversal from here, and I think that would be like an opening range gap, midnight sell side, all that stuff, reversal criteria, which is good stuff. So you can see opening range gap in there. Closing price, opening price. Those are your org quadrants. You can see that. So we're almost at 50% org. So I'm just going to watch the sell side here. Right, there's really no point in marking this out. We get one strong drop going into open. The 4-hour order block is there. The 4-hour volume imbalance, we're trading into that now. And there's sell side. So we went straight down to sell side. So what you want to do here is keep an eye on the other assets. So I'm gonna quickly look at the dollar. Again, don't going to jump the gun or anything like that. We're gonna take a look at dollar. So dollar has been moving higher, which I don't really like. I would prefer, really dollar to be moving lower. So fail synergy there. Although we have been moving lower recently here. So unless we start pivoting on the dollar, a little bit cautious for that long narrative we had. YM is just, of course, doing its own thing, right? YM just pumps at 9:30 open. So we have no synergy right now. There's no synergy. So what do you do when there's no synergy? An extra reason to stay patient. So let's just see what this does. No need to rush anything. It's a really strong move lower. So we're about to get full order closure. So I'm looking at this. Yeah, that's no big deal. We'll just wait and see. We may even be able to just find a long back into this fair value gap. If that's what we get, I wouldn't be opposed to that. So I did say that earlier in the session that I could just long targeting one of these bearish fair value gaps if it formed. So this is your Asian low. I'm gonna mark this out as sell side being taken. Definitely not interested in shorting or longing here at all right now. None of that is interesting to me. We want to keep, yeah, see, YM is really, really strong. YM is really, really strong. And a dollar is not really pivoting lower. So that's what we want to wait for. Although we do kind of see some movement lower on dollar, it's not really confirming. So just be patient. You just tried to get an Alpha Futures account and it didn't let me? Oh, well, why? Here's your low. No, it'd be here. If you look at the session from, oh yeah, I guess it'd be right there, 25.6. Yeah, you're right, it's there. And I'm just marking out the sell side, not specifically anything to do with Asia. Sell side, and there's your opening range gap low. Where did they move electron trading settings on the new update? I still see it at the bottom right, but if you can't find it, I'm sure if you just went here to symbol session, you can just switch through. So we're gonna have to be patient here. We just had a huge sell-off. I'm not looking to jump the gun short. I'm not looking to jump the gun long. Now we stay patient. We have to. We just had a big expansion. We could consolidate below sell side here. That's probably what I would want to see. Some consolidation below sell side. So it shows unwillingness to go lower and potentially the accumulation of longs. I have my fundeds open. I have this eval open. Someone asked me if I use take profit trader. So right now I have all my alpha futures funded. It's fundeds open. I have my live account open. Should I execute that? It's ready. I'm not saying I'm going to, but it's prepared in case I need to. And I have a take profit trader eval. I honestly didn't know I had a code with take profit trader. That's why I'm running this giveaway, because I signed into my take profit trader account. I've never posted about this code. I do remember applying a super long time ago, but then I was like, nah, like whatever. I don't even want to. I don't even want to post about it. But then I went into my take profit account and I had cash in there, which means someone was using my code or some people were using my take profit code. And I was like, oh shit. So, you know, I was like, I'll run a giveaway then. That's why we're running the cash giveaway. So, code is Gatie. And if you do use my code, well, although it's an Alpha Futures giveaway, let me know. I'll add you into a giveaway for November. I guess for take profit too, right? I guess it doesn't matter. Do you think longs look good at this OB forums? No, I need to see if potentially. Anyway, let me lock in here. I don't want to spend too much time reading chat. We got to be focusing on the candles. But I'll tell you guys what I'm looking for. So yeah, we definitely could get change in the state of delivery here. I'd probably want to see like strong, like this super red flag. Like it's not really. We could definitely accumulate here below the sell side. I want to see bullish fair value gaps form, and I'm not in any rush to get into long. And if it just wants to just pump and I miss it, it's fine. But ES is already trading up here. Okay, ES is in here. Dollar. I don't know what dollar's not really clear right now. It's been going up though overall. And YM is just pumping. So yeah, I do want to see NASDAQ switch, but it's not happening. We do have a divergence here. So obviously NASDAQ is the weaker asset right now. But I don't think it's synchronous. In fact, ES left equal lows here, so I'm even more skeptical. If you look at the NASDAQ chart, like this is like, you got to just be patient here in my opinion. I just got to stay patient. It could pump. I'll let it go if it wants to. If it's going to form this way, where YM's already above all-time highs, and ES is almost at potential buy side, and NASDAQ just dumping, and I miss a long setup because of that, who cares at that point? You know, like it just formed awfully, unfortunately. There's no intermarket relationship indicating a high probability move. And that's like very strong red flag for me. So I want to see synergy. Now, if we can get something like ES falls down while Nasdaq consolidates here, and then we shift. Okay, now we're talking for a potential high probability scenario. Yes, this is an order block. But remember, it's only an order block if we're in a sell program. You understand? That's the idea. People always say, "Oh, order block, green candle, going." No, no, no. Order block is a narrative. It's the narrative. The lower one, this one, no, this one would not be because we did not close below it. Like, look at the bodies here. Yeah. So large divergences at the highs, at the lows, at the middle. Okay, dollar is moving lower now. I like that. So dollar had a market structure shift, and now we have a bearish fair value gap, and we seem to be moving lower. So we'll watch that closely, see if it wants to continue. That may give me a strong narrative for Nasdaq to run these equal highs. These highs are smooth. These highs are really, really smooth, and that's something I want to be a part of for a long. Now, it may not happen in the morning session, first 30 minutes at least. It could be. Oh, you muted Yadin? Yeah, don't mute Yadin. I don't know if he was trolling or something, but that's a good guy. I like that guy. What's good thing? So we're below midnight. We've taken out sell side. We're accumulating below sell side like I wanted to see. Now what we have to see is a strong shift higher. It's got to be strong, really indicative that yes, we are going higher now. You know, I want to see dollar also move lower. I'll set an alert here on dollar because the dollar can make a lower low. That's pretty indicative that we may start to move higher. On the Nasdaq, ES is already starting to move higher, and YM is already high. So nothing interesting in here though. Like if we were to just come above here, get the CISD, like I would not trust that at all. Now you could take that and target the highs here, but or sorry, the fair value gap. Remember, you don't have to target the buy side. If you get in a long and you get something like this, you know, say you get a fill here with maybe like a stop here, you can just take something like this, right? Like that's a high probability long in my opinion. But maybe on the eval we can work with something like that. To make this eval simple, I'm just gonna trade 1 minute every trade. I know they have live trailing drawdown. Take profit as live trailing drawdown. It's my first ever eval. Or actually it's not my first ever eval, but it's like my first ever time like actually trying with them. So we do make a lower low in here on the Nasdaq. YN doesn't give a shit. YN's doing its own thing. You kind of just want to wait for them to show some synergy, right? So now that we got the lower low, if we were to expand aggressively, and it's hard to say from what, because I don't know if there's a new day opening gap in here, which I think there is. I believe it's somewhere. Somewhere in here, the new day opening gap. Closing price. I think that's your new day opening gap today. I may be wrong. Someone can confirm for me. Um, Closing price, opening price. I know I said NWOG, but really it's NDOG. We're shooting the bet on Nasdaq. Nasdaq's shooting the bet. Nasdaq does not care. So we're below sell side. We fully completed the org closure. We're inside that new day opening gap. Deep, deep discount now. We left these highs open. I want to see that potentially reverse, but there's nothing right now. Nothing at all. Lost my mind. Something so special about that place. And if this keeps going lower, in my opinion, we're going to previous day's low, which is a bullish fair value gap on the daily. I don't want to see that personally, but it's definitely possible. The dollar's moving lower, so now I do anticipate Nasdaq to start moving higher. Yeah, no, we just gotta wait now, Steve. Just gotta wait. We'd have to get like a nice breaker. We can make a market structure shift or rally gap, stuff like that. Just patience now, guys. Nothing difficult about this. All right, ES still seeming pretty bullish. ES has not made that lower low. It could now. Remember that the dollar's moving lower. Now we don't know how much lower it's gonna go, but like if dollar gets to here, man, I'd say we're pretty bearish. Coming all the way down there. If dollar can continue moving lower, today will announce positive and if it's lockdown. I don't try to predict the news. News is just volatility for me. Listen, there's always going to be, in my opinion, whatever the news is, it's already accounted for in the price. There is no way in hell that everyone's just finding out the news. And even if it was, oh my goodness, dollar just dumped there? Oh wait, no, sorry, that's an old alert. I was going to say, if it went that fast, yeah, Nasdaq should really be pulling higher here. It's an inverse correlation, Jack. So if dollar moves up or dollar moves down, sorry, that's risk off, right? Because it means Nasdaq should be going higher. Should be easy for investors. If dollar's weak, investors tend to put their money in the indices. Is it today after close we get to know if the government's open or not? I was told that they came to an agreement, but I don't know what it was. All my stuff's on YouTube if someone was asking. Yeah, appreciate you, Lena. It will happen, just don't know when. Strange VA? No, it's not strange. This happens quite often. 930 just aggressively moves lower. And if we are bullish, we likely get a reversal. Or today's super manually intervened. Maybe they just keep sending prices lower. That's fine if that happens. Not much you can do. Our job just to be patient and make sure if we do take a long, that it's high quality and that we would take it again, whether it wins or loses. That's all we got to do. Make sure the long that we take is worth risking behind. Right now, what I'd want to see is probably, a run above this high at least. Getting above new day opening gap with a bullish fair value gap, maybe. Right? The risk is pretty good. We could throw a micro on, maybe two. If it's like a 50-point stop, that's 1K risk on this account. And I can only make 1.5. I may have to trade the micro. I'd rather just trade one mini and make my life simple, though. Okay, so there's the low on ES. It's going all the way through that. I'm going to assume that Nasdaq took out, that low there. Any much lower than this, and we would call it, really. That's like really spiking through. But we do enter that hourly bullish fair value gap. Obviously, if we get through this, you're looking back at this. Crazy how we just nothing, eh? Hourly order block, hourly breaker. We have equal. No, we do not have equal highs. My apologies. We do not have equal highs. We'll just see what happens. No need to force anything. The daily FEG is all the way down there, and if that gets there, I'm not interested. Personally, we just let it go. So I'll probably step unless we aggressively move now. I'll just step back from that narrative. The thing is, okay, I know NQ looks crazy, but let me clear this chart up. ES doesn't look that bad. Although I'll be honest, it is still pretty bad. It's still pretty bad. I'll be straight up. There's a big 4-hour fair value gap here on the S&P with the order block. So we could definitely draw into that. ES looks a lot better than the Nasdaq. Nasdaq looking sloppy. We may have to trade the S&P today. We'll see. If we get this 4 hour, I'll leave an alert there. It could be like a lunch type of thing, or like, it's not looking like we're gonna get a reversal here in the early parts of the morning session. So we definitely have to be patient. YM still moving higher. Dollar's moving lower. So yeah, I'm not convinced of this. This is all, to me, this is all like manual intervention. There's no reason for YM to be pumping above all-time highs while dollar is moving lower. Nasdaq's like shitting the bed, and ES is trying to follow, but it's weaker or stronger, I guess you can say. So we just wait. Super, in my opinion, super unprecise price action. Super unprecise. There's no correlation between any of the assets. You don't really know. Nasdaq's leading shorts, YM's leading longs, but no one's following except dollar. So we just wait. Just wait. There's no rush. It's only been 20 minutes in the open. Listen, as far as we went down, it's only been 20 minutes. I'm not saying we're gonna move higher, but we could very easily just get right back up here, right? So just stay patient, just see what it does. Higher win rate continuation, but risk reward is usually better on the reversal model, and you can catch a really good risk reward. That might make it more profitable to trade the reversal, but just because the win rate's less doesn't mean it's more profitable. I don't want to see that weekly gap, but it looks like we might get there. If we do, if we get here, if there's no CPI tomorrow and we get here, I'd expect consolidation Thursday, Friday. Fixed drawdown versus trailing. Fixed is a lot. Well, you're gonna get trailing. There's no really firm that offers fixed that has decent rules to even consider it. OB, what's the point of OB? The 1 day OB. Why did you point the wick for the OB? Isn't it the body? I don't think I pointed the wick. I'm not marking out the OB here. I'm marking out Monday's 50%. That's what we bounced off of yesterday. And what I would do now is mark out 50% of this. And if we don't find sensitivity here, guys, then it's wraps. It's gonna be like a lunch or PM session type of play. Even if it did form here, it would be very hard to trust. That level may be off. Daily discount with CE. How can I join Discord? It's free. Just click the link in my TikTok bio. It's free, my brother. I don't think CPI is tomorrow. It seems like they removed it. So anticipating some consolidation here because we've now entered a discount. So I'm in a position on the video. I'm hoping to add more, but I don't know if I'll be able to. Just made 227 on the dump on Eval. Nice. Why does everyone always share their P&L and not share, like, I took a short here, followed my rules. I feel like everyone's fixated on the profits. I know nothing about Finn. Hopefully he's good. My top sub combine ends in 2 days, so I need to full port. I wish you the best, brother. Why did we dump? I don't know why we dumped. Sell program. Why? Dollar still making lower lows. Yeah. Skeptical about this move lower, but need your indicators. Oh, thank you, brother. Should I study for to try for a funded? As long as you, there, I'll tell you when you stop practicing. You stop practicing when you don't have to ask someone if I should keep practicing and if I'm ready. If you have to ask that question, you're simply not ready. You know, you're simply not ready. Once you're confident enough where you don't have to ask, then you're ready. So yes, at midnight open. I don't normally trade the S&P, but today might be a day to trade the S&P, guys. I'm gonna be honest. Just a little cautious in trading ES, and then it consolidates while Nasdaq tries to catch up. You know, PA so bad. It's only been 20 minutes. This is 50% of that daily discount wick. Okay, here's where I'd want to see us start potentially doing something. If one of the assets makes the lower low and then we pivot higher, we get a breaker with a fair value gap. I could long that and just target something small, like this fair value gap here maybe. It doesn't have to be a full target. So we see now. Now I'm potentially liking this maybe. We'll see. I'm focusing on this candle right here. I would have preferred to see an S&T divergence there, but see if Nasdaq makes a lower low. Nasdaq makes a lower low. Dollar doesn't make a higher high. See that? Dollar doesn't make a higher high. That's pretty bullish. Now it's hard to say because the lack is there. There's not really any intermarket analysis. But if dollar doesn't come up here and just starts going lower, like I'm viewing this as an S&T with dollar at a key level in discount. That's why this one's important. So it would be risky, but I would slap a micro on here. Just gotta keep an eye out on what dollar does. Otherwise, this goes to previous day's low, and I stay on the sidelines. See what gold is doing. Gold is moving higher. Why is everything good except dollar? Everything's so good except Nasdaq. You know. Keeping a close eye on dollar. If I was trading not on stream, I would have my other monitor with dollar and YM, and then I would have dollar, YM, and ES, and then on Nasdaq here I'd have like the 1 minute and then the 5 minute or something. But instead we just gotta manually change, which is fine. Even just targeting something like here, it's not a bad idea, you know. No trade yet. Did we get a divergence there? Okay, we do get a lower low there with the ES as well. So maybe, yeah, if we get the breaker now, it would be easier to trust. Dollar still hasn't made that higher high. It looks like it might, though. It would have to be right now. and we'd have to manage like like so so one micro. Yeah, we're already not expanding, so to me it's like not happening, right? Like if it's gonna happen, it's gonna be like boom, you know. Why is the dollar chart important? Very strong correlation with Nasdaq. Three monitor setup. I don't have space, and I don't think I will have space until I move out. Unfortunately, unless I start tilting my monitor the other way, but I don't like that. I could pull up my laptop right here though. That's what I thought about that, but a little too much. Then I get a little bit too many things to look at. But maybe dollar still hasn't made that higher high. This could be a buy. It's so risky though. I gotta be patient. I want an A plus setup, but I genuinely do see this moving higher because of the divergence at the daily discount wick, the body support. We got an inversion. I do want to see the breaker, and I was gonna say I want to see a bullish fair value gap. If we can't put in a bullish fair value gap, then super lame trade. I can have three charts, but then it really messes up the stream. You guys won't be able to see clearly. We just split this correct chart though. I don't know why. Hold on. I literally have an extra chart right here. Opening range is the first 30 minutes. 9:30 to 10. How much do you make roughly? I don't like talking about how much I make, but I have enough to pay all my bills. I have enough to put money into investments and save. And yeah, it's not as much as I want, but we're growing. You know, I'm doing well. Thanks. No, I don't have a job. 22 years old, brother. Yeah, dollar's shitting the bed, yo. I think it's time for this shit to move higher. Now the question is, what's the draw on dollar? Sell side's there. About the next return here. We want to get a good entry on this, so I want good confirmation, right? Dollar's moving lower, and that's the only reason this is potentially valid. It's because dollar's moving lower, right? That's it. Otherwise, we don't even look at this setup. We could buy inside this fair value gap, maybe. I'm gonna watch it trade in there. See how it does. ES doesn't have a fair value. I'm a little bit skeptical, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really fully convinced. I do like that dollar's lower. The dollar's trading inside that bearish fair value gap. Just not there on ES. It's not there on ES at all. Gonna wait. Maybe a protraction model. I can take that. Even if I got to fill, like here, I can still put my stop down here. Swap time frames here. Make my life simple. We trade into that OB. Yeah, we are inside that 5-minute bearish. 50-minute bearish. Alright guys, we're gonna try it. I'm gonna slap a micro on this. And if we can try to build the position up. Currently I have my stop here. We can try to build the position up from just one micro. What was that? 5. I don't want to risk too much on this setup right now. But we got the breaker, fair value gap. The dollar's weak. YM's been bullish. There's chance for a high potential reversal here. So we're gonna give it a try. See this be used. We're gonna have to manage this trade like very diligently. Is that the word? Diligently. So obviously we are bearish here. We're going against the most immediate order flow, but I do like what I see for the most part. I don't want to really see a lower low in here. I'm gonna move the stop to, what is that? 588. Call it 5875. Just really keeping it very low risk. Risking $70 on this trade. Covering the low of the breaker pretty much. And that bullish fair value gap. I think we have a 2-minute gap, which is why I'm giving it some room. Giving that 2-minute gap some room. Yeah, but any lower than this, we'll go with 585. I like 585 is good. Just covering that 2-minute gap with the order block and the 2-minute breaker. Just giving it a little bit of space there. If we get a higher high in here, so if we get, you know, something like boom, I could buy one there with a stop moved here, maybe. But we'll see. Doesn't look like we're gonna get it. Dollar, yeah, dollar's like moving higher now. Unfortunately, dollar did not respect the bearish fair value gap here. That's kind of what I was looking for. I don't know if you guys can see that. But it might. We'll see. I'm happy I went with just one micro. We'll see. We trade to the low of that fair value gap. I want to see speed above the highs here. Gonna go ahead and move my stop to 594. Like I said, I want to aggressively manage this risk. That low, I really don't want to see a lower low than that. 594.25. And I may or may not add one here. I don't think on this eval I'll add one, but I'll add a micro here on the funded. If no, I don't want to see the S&T there. I'm not gonna add one yet, guys. Personally, I'm not gonna add one yet. This is an eval where I don't even know how much I need on this. I don't know. So I'm viewing this as a bullish order block. I'd want to see that support price. If we start getting heavy in here, that's not what you want to see. Stop to 598. Like, notice I'm like pretty aggressively moving my risk. The reason I'm doing this is because I demand this to be like boom. If we're not gonna boom higher, then I don't even want to be in this trade, you know. So that's why my stop is like I'm being pretty aggressive with it because I don't want to risk that much on a trade like this. But I do want to be in, so I could potentially build up a position. In fact, we may even start closing break even here. I'm going to give it a couple of... ES is not giving me the feedback. I don't even know what dollar is doing anymore. Why I'm starting to shit the bed too. Now that dollar... Like, now everything's flipped. The script has completely flipped. Now dollar's moving higher and YM's moving lower. Now everyone's doing their own thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be so aggressive here, but I'm thinking about just breaking even, to be honest. Yo, I just realized this account has live trailing drawdown. I gotta be careful. I gotta treat this eval a little bit. I might just take the break even here, guys, on the funded. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really seeing what I want to see. Gonna give it a little bit of chance. I'm not seeing the speed that I would want to demand. Man, I shouldn't have traded a mini on this account, guys. That was a mistake. I'll be honest. I should have traded 5 micros. I'm break even on my funded, guys. I'm break even on my funded. Honestly, we might just take it here on this eval at least. I'm gonna close this on the eval, guys, because I really can't give back profits on this eval because that's gonna like blow the account if I get stopped. I'm still in on my funded break even. So I'm still in on the funded break even. I made a mistake with the eval there. I should have been in with micros. My fill is at 6.2. This is my trade currently on my fundeds. I'm just gonna look for something like that. I am break even on the funded. I no longer want to risk anything on my funded. So I'm just sitting a break even plus $1 to cover the commission plus $1.50. My stop's at 6.24. If I was on an eval and this one didn't have live trailing drawdown, I would sit break even. It's a take profit account because if it stops me, I'm screwed. That I'm gonna be down like $1,000. I can't really do that on a live trailing account. So I'm sitting on this break even on my fundeds. I haven't added into the position because of ES. If ES, I don't know if you guys can see the ES chart. If ES was looking more like this is nonsense, gibberish. This is like, look at this. Look at this ES chart. It's awful. You know. I'm gonna close the trade there, guys. I think, to be honest, I'm gonna close it there. I'm just gonna close the trade there because ES isn't. ES does not look like it's gonna move higher at all. Dollar is moving lower again, but so is YM. If you want to ride it out, break even, go for it. Pretty much break even trade. TPT has no trailing unless it's funded. Wait, really? On eval? Are you sure? Really? There's no live trailing drawdown on the. I could have sworn there was. Oh, that changes things. Anyways, probably would be break even. Like we're up like $60 across the fundeds, but if ES was looking better, I don't know if you guys can see the ES chart. I know some of you are on TikTok. Your phone is not sideways. Look at ES. ES showed zero bullishness whatsoever. So that's why I'm like, yeah, this trade's probably not a winner, right? I'm just recognizing the signatures of the trade. And there you see. You just have to recognize that that trade wasn't a winner, you know? It's not fear. I'm not saying, I haven't been reading chat, so I don't know what people have been saying, but you just have to recognize, am I seeing the thing that I want to see in this trade? No, I'm not. ES is sideways. YM's moving lower. Dollar did break lower, but showed some strength in there. And we went into the 15-minute Sibi. We didn't show speed. We just slowly went up. In fact, There's an SMT here too, right? So that was a good close. I'll be honest. I think that was yeah. It looks like we would have been stopped out, right? So when I talk about risk management, what I'm talking about is exactly this. Identify the trade. Is it high probability or low probability? You know, is it looking like you're on the right side? It's not. You know, it is moving higher. You do want to give it a chance, but you also don't want to be stupid. You know, or like you don't want to be the guy who's like, no, 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 like it still can go higher. It still can go higher. You know? No positive signatures. ES looks like garbage. Dollar was moving lower. That's the only reason we even took the trade in the first place. Because we have an objective here on the dollar, which is sell side, which I do think can be met, but it's sloppy. It's high resistance. So, good trade management, good risk management. Didn't get greedy, didn't demand too much. Now we have another SMT here. We'll study that. Not saying anything's in, we're just studying it. There's a divergence currently across the pairs. I think YM is in a 5-minute bullish fair value gap as well. See, YM has a bullish inversion here. So we might be able to start framing another narrative for a run above this high on YM. Right? A protraction long on YM. Toxic, don't give me your money, bro. I don't want your money, bro. Dollar showing some weakness now inside that SIBI with sell side open and relative equal lows. There's potentially a narrative here. We're still inside. Again, it's sloppy, but we're back inside that hourly. Took out the short-term low. So if we got speed here, I wouldn't mind re-entering the trade with 1 micro again. Also, I don't like sharing P now, but I need to know how much. So there's no live trailing on this account. Okay. Interesting. I did not know this. So I'll just keep trading 1 mini then. Because then I can just break even and go. I don't have to partial or anything. See, the divergence is there, but remember, see how we just painted the narrative like, okay, YM potentially inversion goes higher, dollar weakness, all those things aligned, but then no displacement. You're offside. You know, if all those things were true, and we're like, yeah, this narrative is strong. We know the narrative's strong if the market does this in the next couple minutes. Otherwise, it's not. It's not really as strong as I would have hoped. So we wait. JP, bro. JP's fucking hilarious. Please don't shuffle between charts. Bro, do you want a thorough analysis or not? Do you want me to trade with my eyes closed? What do you mean don't shuffle between charts? Are you trying to handicap my trading? Brother, you got to look at the other charts. Top taking stop. You gotta understand, like, if I'm wrong, it's gonna reverse from here, and then you start seeing that weakness. There's live trailing on Take Profit Trader. Apparently not on the eval. On eval there is. Yo, is this true? Only on pro accounts. I don't know what account, man. How do I know what account I got, guys? I got Take Profit 3928. Shit. I need to know this because it's gonna change how I trade it. Pro is after eval. Okay. Oh, so I'm good. I'm on eval. There's only one type of account. I'm guessing is what you're saying. Pro is just to fund it. You have an eval. Oh, okay, I get you. So we're good. We're good. I thought like there were 2 types of evals or something. All right, so I'm good. Keep NQ chart as it is. Shuffle the other tab. That I can do. You're right. That's probably what I should be doing. You right. But I already have the chart here, so. Wait. What the fuck? That's so funny. No, nothing, guys. Nothing. It's nothing important. Not do that. Let me. Rip? No, no, we're good. Getting same day took a short start after inverting a 1 hour cast the expansion on move and took the second trade. When he said no, no, we're good. It's a funny story. I took a payout on Alpha a while ago, and I had like one trade left on the account, right? Just because how much I took. I had short story is I took a trade, and I guess there was an outage, and I have 6 fundeds right now with Alpha. I'm looking at my dashboard. I'm like, wait, they must have given me back the fundeds. They must have given me back my fundeds that were lost on an outage that happened like I don't know a week ago or something. No, 3 is the max. You're not even. I don't even know it was possible to get this money, but they reinstated them. So I feel like I don't want to get like banned or anything. So I'm just gonna try to blow them quickly. There's literally like $100 drawdown on them. I'm not trying to play with like $100 drawdown. Okay, I think we're good. I'm just looking at my dashboard. I'm like, wait, fuck, I have so many accounts. 4 point CPI with $1 drawdown. You can't trade CPI. I have the standards. Yeah, the insane day took short right after inversion of 1 hour, cast the expansion, lower move, and then took the second trade after the retrace damage again. See, that's the insane TP. Nice, bro. I don't want these accounts. I have a fresh set of fundeds. Um, CPI tomorrow not or it's CPI tomorrow or not confirmed. Right now it seems to be not confirmed. So we're just being patient in here. I still like the long narrative, but not really there. YM's moving a little bit lower. So we may have to get a retracement on YM, like maybe something like this, guys. When YM gets here, we can get a continuation. Maybe. For now, just let it do its thing. I'm a bit confused with the end dog law and low and high, because they are higher on my chart. Can you please show me the gap? I did say this could be a mismarking. We opened here. No, it's actually correct. So we closed here. We opened here. So this is correct. That's the gap right there. Don't mark the gap. Mark the closing price and the opening price, right? You took the same trade with the same TP. Nice, bro. Could have been a better trade. Like if we got the fill here. Like you could have squeezed out 2R, but anyway, I'm getting like not that much, but how much you up? Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. matters is money in the. We could talk about it. This eval. We're up. Yeah, on this eval, we're up 500 on the eval. Wait. So this is end of day drawdown. That means, which means I have a free 500 to work with right now. Yeah. I'm definitely risking this shit. By the end of the day, mark my words, we will risk this $500. Is Johnny here? Yes. Ah, my guy. Okay, cool. So that's what we're gonna do. I do want to take another trade then for sure, at least on this eval. Why aren't you full porting? It's take profit. I don't think you can. I was told you need 5 trading days. Anyways, guys, while we wait for this market to consolidate, we're probably gonna be waiting until 10:50 macro before anything significant happens going into lunch. I do want to say I'm running a tournament, poker tournament, free poker tournament. Discord, if you want to be in there, come through. I'm gonna give away $100 cash to the winner. Whoever wins, if you want to win, free to enter, free Discord, $100 cash prize to the winner of the poker tournament. Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. I can't really do any other time. That's probably the best time. And we're running an Alpha Futures giveaway. So if you want to be a part of that giveaway, 2:30 a.m. for you? Oh, shit. I don't know what the giveaway. But we're running an Alpha Futures giveaway. So if you use my code with Alpha Futures, let me know. Oh my god, you're from Australia? That's amazing. How can we join Discord? The link's in my bio. It's free. You just got to click the link, go on Discord, click open in browser, and then you can join the Discord for free and be a part of the tournament, which will also be free on Sunday. Got another SMT down there. Dollar's doing its own thing. I kind of want to see YM move lower. I'm going to set an alert here on the YM chart, and we'll just kind of wait. We're going to have to wait like 20 minutes, guys. I'll be straight up with you. I don't see myself taking it something. It could be at 10:30, so we'll at least wait 5 minutes and then go from there. But for now, nothing. I like where we're consolidating because, in my opinion, either we consolidate or we reverse. But we'll have to see. Basic engineering. By the way, guys, I'll never make that mistake where I trade minis instead of micros because I don't know if you guys know, but if you trade with alpha futures on alpha ticks, you can just block. So I have like the mini blocked. I couldn't possibly trade. Like, let me show you guys. When you go to the settings here, I can just click symbol blocks. I can block the mini. And in fact, while I'm at it, let me block gold mini as well. That way I can never make that mistake ever again. You guys don't even know how many times I've made that mistake. It's not nice. Not nice at all. So I can't make that mistake. Don't even want to mess around with that. You guys have seen me do that on live stream. It's not fun, man. So sad. It's so sad when you're like disciplined for so long. You're so good, and then you just freaking trade the mini. You lose. And then all that work. Something's wrong. How are you planning to give away that 100? Probably crypto. USDC. If someone happens to live near me, I'll throw them an e-transfer if they want. Yeah, good risk management is the most important thing. What's wrong with minis? I personally don't like to risk that much. I know the copy trader was tragedy, because those Apex accounts, that was gonna be 5 Apex payouts, bro. I'll be honest. Like that was gonna be a 5. Those gonna be 5 payouts on Apex. I mean, gamer. It's gonna be a poker tournament. How can I join the poker tournament? I'm gonna release a link. Yeah, I use Wise. I'm gonna release a link on Sunday, and you're just gonna click the link. It's gonna put you into the game, and that's it. You start playing. How do you manage your risk? Just like this. You got to identify winning and losing trades early and manage your risk appropriately. I also know this trade was kind of a Hail Mary. So notice I only entered one contract to start the trade. I told myself, if I see good information, I'll add more. I did not see good information. It looks good here, maybe. But you got to look at the S&P. You got to look at the dollar. You got to look at the YM. Not clean. What you think about paying a smaller future account like Aqua Futures or Blue Coin Futures for like 25 bucks? Yeah, you can do that, man. That's not a bad idea. If you can get some, you got to be disciplined because it's gonna be a little bit harder to get a payout with them. I don't know about Aqua, but I know Blue Guardian will probably pay. I know you don't like talking about personal funds, but can you please talk about realistic amounts of cash? What does that mean, realistic amounts of cash? Top Cyber Alpha. I personally use Alpha. That's top tier trade management. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. That's something I'm still trying to improve on. Do you use it with their physical ATM card? I don't have the card, no. I just, from Wise, I transfer it to my bank account through trading. What's realistic? What's realistic? I mean, for me, realistic is like unlimited amounts of money, right? I think that's realistic. Infinity is realistic to me, but it's all perspective. My girl still does work, yeah. Hopefully not for too much longer. Bugatti, if I knew you had a TPT account, you would have made bank off my ass. A TPT, a code account? I would have made... I didn't know, bro, listen, I literally applied like a year ago. I never posted it. I was like, yeah, whatever. You know? I didn't even think I was going to get accepted because I was like small. I was a small guy. And then I look at my rewards. You know how I found out? When I went to buy the account, there was an option that says rewards. And I was like, what the fuck is that? I clicked it and it just automatically went through. And I was like, I started looking at my PayPal, my bank, all my accounts. And I'm like, bro, I did not get charged for this account. I just got a free account. And then I realized someone's been using my take profit code. And I never even posted it like once. I don't know. I guess someone just tried it and it worked. So I do want to have kids, yeah. It is 10:30, but we're still, again, there's not, like, I'd want to see a full breaker in here, if I'm being honest. So, and we also have to keep in the mind that we could be wrong about this reversal, you know? It's very possible we just got to run on buy side. So what we're going to have to do is, once we get here, we're going to be very disciplined and see what the other indices are doing. We're going to look at the time. Because if we start retracing and then it's 1050 and we get this at 1050, that kind of kills my bias, because I want to be a part of the long at 1050 that goes up, because that way I can at least manage my risk here and potentially in here. But if we're going to retrace at 1050 and then it's 1050 macro, that might be a continuation setup to this low. So I'm skeptical in that, right? It's all going to be about time, and then at the same time, what are the other indices doing? You know, does YN get here and then 1050 macro? Does dollar leave these equal lows, break? You know, we're going to have to pair all that stuff to get a high probability trade. And the most important thing, just be patient the whole time too. Or we come back in lunch or PM session. Why 1050 macro? It's that first lunch macro where price typically runs on opposing liquidity, right? So if we've been retracing, 1050 usually runs on the opposing liquidity lower. But if we take out the low now and it's 1050, then even if we're wrong about the reversal, 1050 macro can still at least deliver this high, maybe, you know? It's like a safe time. Also, in a macro, you expect a run to liquidity or imbalance. That would make sense. Right now, we're just working the hell out of this hourly fair value gap. Just, you know, the body's stopped right there. I don't think that's random, but it is sloppy. It's at that daily discount wick CE. Just got to be patient. I think we're making low resistance liquidity. A lot of people say this. I don't know who first taught that, because I don't think it's ICT. We can engineer liquidity and then run on it aggressively. That is true. Yes, right? But I don't know what engineering low resist. What makes something low resistance is the market condition based on time and the economic calendar and just the characteristics of the session. I don't know about this stuff where it's just like you just do this and it's like, oh, we have low resistance liquidity higher. What the hell does that mean? Low resistance liquidity higher? Like, I can understand, like, I'll tell you in the context of ICT. I don't know about anyone else, but let me explain something. If the market is going to do something as clean as this, listen closely, guys. This is sauce. I'm going to be straight up. This is sauce. And we leave no fair value gaps, right? It's just all wicks back and forth, back and forth. That means there's no imbalance there. So if the market's going to go up, you know it's going to take out the highs because there's no liquidity. The market only goes up for two things. So if we're going to deliver a price range, for example, say something like this, right? Like from here to here. This is all pretty much balanced out. I mean, this is the best example because there's fair value gaps here, here. So let me find a better example with a bunch of wicks. For example, this. You see this price action? There's no fair value gaps in here. It's just wicks, 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 wicks. So if we are bullish, it should be easy to get to this high because there's no fair value gap. There's no imbalance. The only thing here is the liquidity pool. The market can't be drawing up to an imbalance if there's no imbalance there. The only imbalance would be up here or up here, right? And then that's where we go, right? So that I can understand. But when people just say like, oh, we just have low resistance, liquidity higher, like, okay, that kind of makes sense, I guess, if that's what they're referring to. But like, for example, if I told you we're going to go lower, you know where we're going. It's this low or this low. There's nothing else. Obviously, the wick here, yes, that's an imbalance in itself. You can get into that stuff, but like, there's nothing else. You get what I'm saying? There's no like a bullish fair value gap that we could be going down into. It's just the lows. It's just highs and lows right now. There's no inefficiencies. It was actually team start of 2025. I think he said the market will make a trend line liquidity. Trend line liquidity, yes, that is something that was taught. Low resistance liquidity. Low resistance liquidity condition. Like everyone left out the last word. Like, it's a condition that the market is in. What's your thought about candle wicks are a carrot and market is a donkey? What type of... Bro, what are you talking about, man? You guys saying some weird stuff, bro. It's a good example, though. Wicks are carrot and market is donkey. Nah, bro, I don't know. I don't know about it. You didn't cook, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I get where you're going, but you missed. You missed. I'm sorry, you missed. You did not hit that shit. Air ball, bro. Air ball. Good shot though. It's a good attempt. But how do you know what port you're sailing to if you don't know what wind is favorable? How do you know what port you're sailing to if you don't know what wind is favorable? How do you know what port you're sailing to? Don't you just know though? Like, why would you go somewhere if you don't know? Yeah, you guys missing, bro. I'm gonna be honest. So here we have all of them going lower right now. I don't know why I got an alert on dollar. We take out the sell side here. So this is pretty much last chance. We take out the low. If we break higher, I'll give it another chance. If we do not break higher, I'll come back at lunch or PM or final hour macro and trade that. Let's go, Yusuf. And I say that primarily because the YM is entering that 15-minute bullish fair value gap. So, and that's it, right? So if we find support here in YM, that's something we can go off of. It looks like we're going to take... Is that Tuesday's low? No, it's not, right? Oh my god, it is. Damn, we actually made it that far, huh? This is your previous day low right here. Previous day low. Crazy. So my narrative going into the day was we were going to go to the bearish fair value gap. I did see this one. Like, I did see this fair value gap here, but I thought we were going to leave that open. So we were wrong in that sense, but, you know, we traded really well. I mean, it could still be wrong. We don't know if we're going to go there. I think YM is inside that 15-minute. So we'll see. But it is looking like previous day low is possible. It's definitely in the scopes. Final hour macro, it's just your last macro in price delivery. Usually, if there's any unfinished business, we clean it up there in that last 315 to 345. It's a 30-minute macro. You taking a trade? You took the one trade here. Wanted the reversal. Closed early. No good sign. Every time you say you're hopping in PM, you miss the reversal. Yeah, that's true, bro. Every time I say I'm going to come back in the PM, lunch delivers all the price action higher. But I don't want to trade. I don't want to trade at 12 hour. I don't mind trading 11 to like 12:30, but from 12:30 to 1, I don't want to trade that. Use fibs? Not really. Only the deviations for projections. For example, if we are going to get above this high, how much higher can we go? I think that's nice. Usually you want to go one higher. What I want to see is we didn't get to 75%. Interesting. We failed. Potentially like what I'm seeing here. Potentially like what I'm seeing here. I think I would demand a breaker. Which would be here. But let's just see. I'm going to scan the dollar. Dollar's weak, man. We still have that sell side open. Very clean equal lows. I think it's going to go there. No resistance. YM. Maybe one more leg lower on the YM. We get an SMT and then expand. I would trust that. That I would trust. We trust in the SMT with YM. Because if YM is going to put an SMT, then we pivot higher. That's really strong. Why am I putting SMT here? Macro. Macro. I like what I'm seeing here, but we don't know. This could just be a retrace of the fair value gap. Nothing confirming yet for me. I really want to see if YM. I'm going to put an alert here. And I'm going to put an alert here. We're going to watch this. Main macro is 950 to 1010, 1015 to no 1015 to 1045. That is not an ICT macro. Maybe someone else teaches it, and if you want to use it, that's fine. But it's not an ICT macro. An ICT macro is it would be 1050 to 1110. Just XX50 to XX10. 950 to 1010. 1050 to 1110. The only exception is the final hour macro. Macro is a time where you expect price delivery to move to some sort of liquidity or inefficiency. That's all. We're still sensitive in here. My settings are pretty simple. It's just all of them gray. That's what I'm rocking right now. I use this gray. And just 0, 1, 0, -1, -2, all the 0.5s. That's what's relevant. Your best advice for a beginner to learn? Practice losing. What time would the final macro be? 3:15 to 3:45, a 30-minute interval. That's your final hour macro. Let me rephrase. It's your macro in the final hour. I know it's kind of weird. It's not final hour macro makes it seem like it's a 1 hour period. 20 to 40 is not a macro. Not an ICT macro. I don't know. Someone else probably taught it. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying ICT did not teach any macro that's 20 to 40. And if you want to follow that, that's what I follow. That's it. Practice losing is horrible advice. Yeah. You're not a good trader, unfortunately, brother. Maybe one day, though. Well, it's a 30-minute match, a 30-minute interval. How did you learn trading? From ICT and a lot of practice. I'm currently in a minus 6.7% drawdown. How do I get out? You're in a good spot. Practicing getting out of drawdown is important. It's very important. You got to de-risk. When you're losing, you got to de-risk and build back up. How many trades should someone take a trade if they're new? Depends on the system you're running. Your model, your system will tell you how many times you should be trading, right? Practice losing to be fair. That's the best advice I've ever heard. Yeah, it's the most important thing. It's cool, bro. Iron profitable. Maybe you got to practice losing too, man. How long did it take you to build your model? I'm like a year. It took me like a year to finally be content with what I have, you know? But it's been pretty similar the whole time, you know? It's always usually little tweaks, little things I want to add, you know? Like, it's not written in rules. Make sure dollar and YM look good when you trade, but like these little things that you just kind of improve. YM did trade into the 15-minute volume imbalance, but it left equal lows, so I'm a little bit skeptical. So if we break above the high, I'd view that as we're leaving a failure swing. But I kind of want to see it go one more time down. Take out those equal lows. Other guy just made 1,400 a break and retest short. Nice. Nice and simple, brother. 320 to 3. It's 315 to 345 is how ICT teaches it. That's your final hour macro. In that time, that's usually when we finish stuff up. What's up with the statistics things? You're building on that? I think I have all the statistics I want. Why you don't like this 3-minute inverse? I gotta see a break. I'm a little bit skeptical for 2 reasons. One, I think YM can make a lower low. So I want to see, like, I want to be really careful longing when YM leaves this right here. 2, that's it. That's actually it, actually. If you're bearish and we inverse this, yeah. I'm personally not really looking for shorts. If I was, then that would be my confirmation too. So if you are bearish, this, yeah, you're looking for probably this inversion here. Okay, dollar took out sell side. Interesting. We'll see how low dollar can go. Like, dollar's weak, man. I really want to see these indices pull higher. Can you give any advice or tips to learn about stock investing? Yeah. CanSlim. Search up on YouTube. CanSlim by William J. O'Neill. That model is all you need to help you pick winning stocks. It doesn't tell you when to buy or sell. That's something I use ICT's concept for. Premium, discount, bullish market. I look at the dollar intermarket analysis. Sometimes look at the bond market. Find that correlation. It doesn't tell you when to buy, but it will tell you which stocks to buy. CANSLIM. I don't think you can find a better stock selection model than that. I'll be honest. I don't believe in the people who they just go about their day and they're like, I'm gonna buy this stock because I think they're gonna release this. Like, listen, those fundamentals, that's weak stuff. That's like public. In my opinion, you really gotta understand what to look for. It's called CanSlim. I'll write it out right here. It's a stock selection model. It tells you what to look for when you're picking which stock to add to your watch list, let's say. Now you got to identify when you want to actually click the button. I use ICT's concept for that. Gator. I ain't gonna forget when you said I ain't profitable. I didn't say you weren't profitable. I said you're not a good trader. That shit just motivated me. Much love. Appreciate you, bro. It's because the reason I said that, obviously I was joking. You may be a really good trader. But practicing losing is really good advice, you know? It's good advice, I'm gonna be honest. If you disagree, you simply have not been trading long enough to realize that it's good. You have to be a good loser. That's it. You have to be. You have to be able to lose so that your next trading day or your next couple of trades are not influenced by the fact that you took a loss previously, you know? When you lose, you should feel exactly when you feel when you don't even trade at all, you know? The way, say I didn't take a trade today and I was just flat. That's how I should feel after I lose. I shouldn't be like thinking, you know, it's really easy to like lose and you start going down a bad mental space. It's so easy. So easy. How much losing did you endure? I had my fair share. Meditation block. Oh, now we're just adding shit, bro. What the hell is a meditation block? Meditation block. Meditation block, bro. There's no meditating. I'd watch this fair value gap because if this fair value gap fails, something simple as from this low to target this and maybe previous day low, that could be a good trade. It's not something I really want to take, but it is something worth studying. Something like this. Maybe something like this. So we'll watch it. Bro means mitigation block. What's the stock model? It's right here, bro. Canceling. Stock selection model. Make that very clear. Have you read or know anything about this book, Technical Analysis of Financial Markets, John Murphy? I've heard people talk about it, but I have not read it myself. I personally don't want to read any technical analysis books. If we just go lower here, yeah, it's really bearish. Signatures in terms of the breakaway gap and then the inversion. Even if we just got 50% here. Kind of 50-50 right now, though. Row means mitigation block. Mitigation block. You want to learn what that is? Do you backtest on stocks? No, but I've been trading stocks for about 2.5 years with pretty much the exact same model. So I did not backtest it. I find it hard to backtest because it's like super hindsight. You know. All right, let me go back to 2010 and buy Nvidia. You can't really backtest it. I feel like. I also only trade like really good stocks, right? So it's not like I'm trying to pick one that I think is gonna explode. If I was doing that, then I would backtest it. What's the return you've had? I've actually had a pretty good return. I'm in the 3 figures for stocks, my stock portfolio. If you don't mind me asking, what's the fair range of profit you made from stocks? I'm in the 5 figures still. But the percentage return was really good. I caught a couple of bangers, let's just say that. And honestly, even though I caught a couple of bangers, could have made so much more. Like there are some stocks I don't even want to. Do I want to go there, guys? I had Palantir stock at $12. 12. I had 250 shares. 250 shares at $12. And I sold at 30. I was so happy, bro. I was like, yo, that's like 2x on the stock. So happy. How much is it now? It went up high, bro. All-time high peaked at 208, 207. Now it's at 180. It's going down. You can buy that gap, to be honest. It's a tricky stock though, because it's really highly valued based on its potential, which is kind of scary for me. It's unethical. Someone in TikTok chat just said that it's unethical. To be honest, I don't really know what's bad about it. Like I don't know. I got hurt with no insurance and had to sell. I trade stock with cash. So if you're bearish, yeah, you could short this inversion. I'm not gonna participate in the short because it's deep in discount, and it kind of goes against my narrative. And dollar's still weak. YM is about to get above that high. Yeah, I have live brokerage account. How much money do you think you needed to start? You don't need as much as you think. I would just start, put your money into an investment account, and even if it's little, just start. Because once you start, then you can, if you ever have extra money, you can start putting more in there, You can start putting more money in there. No, I don't think I would do crypto. I don't know if it's just me, but I personally, and this is a tape retrade, guys, I wouldn't take this. Not on my fundeds, at least. Maybe I would take this on an eval, though. Risk the 500 I made. Do I want to risk the 500 now? Don't risk the 500. Nah, I wouldn't take this guy. I'm going to be honest, it's pretty low quality. Yeah, we're getting the inversion, but ES is bullish. YM is moving higher. Dollar is moving lower. It's super red flag. You get any piece of art? We took the one little scalp here. I don't even know how much we're up. Anywhere from 0.5 to like 1.2. Check my story, brother. Took a W. Why would I check your story, bro? RR. Rich. I've heard a lot about robotic stuff, but no, I haven't had anything. Nothing has jumped to my eye. No, you watch me all the time? Alright, bro. I'll check. If you send me a message, I'll just check right now. I'll look together, bro. How about that? Seems like a nice guy, bro. Alright, guys, this is Bailey's trade. Nice, bro. You pretty much shorted. I don't know what chart this is or what time frame. It's a good trade, bro. You got it on the inversion up there. So right here. Here. Nice, bro. Are you long? No. I think this is fizzling out. I think previous day's low might be the draw, and it's just something I'm going to have to watch. Not be a participant of, just not the criteria I'm looking for. So you take the high here, the low. How much lower can we go? Yeah, like 1 is possible if we want to get that. Don't think we're going to get the breaker. I don't know if we're going to get previous day's low, but I do think we can get this low. I think YM also failed. Yeah, see, YM never made that higher high, and it's just going lower. Dollar is dumping. We're just so out of sync. It's very hard to trade. If dollar was pumping here, I would trust this short on the Nasdaq. But dollar is just very bearish, very bearish, and YM is bullish. So it's really hard to trade something high probability when literally every single market is out of sync. I don't want to take a bad trade. You telling me you missed out on 50K on Palantir? Yeah, I guess that's what it is. I didn't know the number, but I knew it was a lot. I had 250 shares at $12. That is an issue, Kilowan. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know that. Appreciate you, Bailey. Yeah, it's good to just information. It doesn't hurt. It just matters what you do with it, you know? As long as it doesn't persuade you. Could Coach, you could have gifted me half. I would have held for us. But that's not even the worst. Not even the worst of it. I had Nvidia at 98. I had AMD at 88. Um, Roku stock. Roku. I'm pretty sure I had Roku. I don't know what Roku is. I had it at 50 or something. It's only at like 100. So I bought this stock a long time ago. I'm gonna be honest though. I was stuck in this position for a long time. Yo, I literally have the marker up here, bro. This is literally when I bought it. This is, bro. I probably had this. I probably had this gap marked out so long ago. That's crazy. I probably had a buy in like somewhere here, and I was looking for that, and I just cut it at like I made like $5 on the stock per share, and I just cut it, and then it ripped. How did you research these stocks? Canceling model. Cancel. I'll look at the earnings. God, Nvidia at 10 cents per share. Nvidia at $80. No, AMD at $80. I had Nvidia at 90 like 8. Let's invest it. But finding them to begin with, just research like top stuff. Like, most of the stocks I've taken were already like they're buzz, you know. They were like popping up, like they're just on the news. You see them in the watch lists. You see them in. I mean, I have a website. I have like a newsletter that I always get like updates and stuff. Like you guys should see me. They send me an email like I get like 30, 40, 50 posts on them a day. Um, just like about buzz, you know, and then I look into them. Like, how do you even find the names to begin with? Like, brand new, what the hell do I do? Like, I kind of start searching up tickers type stuff. Yeah, you gotta build a watch list, you know. You gotta sit there and eventually just sit there. Like, I'm gonna build a watch list, you know, a couple of stocks or a bunch of stocks that I want to just watch. I was PA today. I'm very happy with my executions. PA was very hard to navigate because of the intermarket analysis. That was different. You know, like I said, dollar is just dumping. So taking a short on NQ was really sus. YM was super bullish. So the shorts were just super sus in my opinion. I guess we just record a TikTok here and then call it. All right, let's record a quick TikTok. Risk management and understanding trading probability. I can't do this on live stream, bro. I tried to keep a straight face. I'm not even gonna try, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have to do it off stream. Can't even keep a straight face. There's no way I can do that. Yeah, no, it's not it for me, guys. I'm gonna do that shit off stream. I was just gonna recap the risk management here that we had. Um, that shit just immediately made me laugh. As soon as I clicked record, I started giggling inside, and I tried to fight through a little bit, but I could not do it. Could not do it. And now listen, if I try again now, I think it's gonna be hopeless, guys. I'm gonna be honest. We believe it, bro. If I try it again, I'll get it done. Because if I gotta keep a straight face, I can do it. I can do it, especially when I'm hungry. Anyone pop into antagonist tour? I don't know what that is. 11th hour kill zone NQ of 3 minutes CISD. Lunch reversal. I'm assuming is what you're trying to say. I would demand a breaker in here, but yes, do it. Okay, I can do it. No worries. Let me set up the chart. I'm not gonna laugh. Listen, a lot of you guys think I'm gonna laugh, and you guys are waiting for me to giggle again, but I'm telling you, I'm gonna get it done. You know? I just took one small scalp. We're green on the day, but not by much. I'm gonna probably risk my profits in the afternoon or in the final hour. Actually, a little bit. I need a little bit. Because these things, what do you want to cover? I want to talk about recognizing that this was a good time to close, and I want to talk about the the discrepancy between all the assets. Okay. Today, risk. Yo. I hold on. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Today, risk management saved me. I entered long here, and I was looking for a run above the buy side, and I was hopefully looking for a partial inside these premium fair value gaps. But we closed the trade early based on low probability signatures of the trade that we saw. What did we see that told me to close the trade that saved me from an inevitable loss? I will show you guys. If you look at the S&P chart at the exact same time, this is what was happening. We barely got above, if even, to get above this fair value gap. Very weak compared to the Nasdaq at the time. Dollar the entire day has been bearish. This entire live stream, I was looking for lower prices on the dollar, and that was great. However, the YM was bullish. YM was printing higher and higher, and we were not seeing the same follow through on the Nasdaq. ES was weak. Dollar was overly extended bullish, I would say, compared to the other ones. And that synergy, that lack of synergy, is very, very telling. So as soon as we got into that new day opening gap, we traded into that 15-minute bearish fair value gap. I was hoping for speed at this point in time. We did not get that. In fact, we got weakness on the S&P. We got a little bit of a move higher on the dollar, and that was a super indicative signature in price for me to close the trade early. Recognizing signatures like this is honestly what makes trading very, very easy. So that's risk management. That's what it looks like in real time. And in my opinion, previous day's low was a potential target now. Not something I'm looking to trade, but something to study for sure. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Like it's gonna get like 1,000 views, maybe 2,000. It's not a lit video, but I always post my recaps anyways, so I'll post it anyways. I'll make a more engaging video later. Listen, not all videos are for views. Ah, bro, look at us. I always post my recaps of the day. Keep people posted on, you know. I don't know. I feel like I would have liked to have someone, if you're like a new trader, just to see like what did they see, you know? Because you'd be surprised. Like there's a lot of misinformation. I'm sure a lot of people were in this long and did not realize what ES was looking like. Keep it as simple as this: if you wouldn't take the long on S&P, that's a super red flag on Nasdaq. There's no fair value gaps. It's all wicking, no follow through. We get above the high, wick, come back down, get above, wick, come back down, wick. Like it's super, super sloppy. So I'm not saying people definitely went long today. If you think nobody went long today, you're a fool. I'm not saying you guys are in chat, but there were definitely a lot of people who went long today, and they probably missed signatures like that. Um, yeah, it's super bearish, super bearish. Although it doesn't align with the dollar at all, but it is what it is. You know, ICT trades. This is your worst month. First sweep and reversal since November is just rallies. I'm having a pretty good month, I think. None on a trade, took a long, but full TP was started the 50 with a CB. Nice, yeah. That's basically where I got out. A lot of streamers went long. I saw shorts and started questioning my decision. Yeah. There was good narrative for both. I mean, we were obviously super bearish. So anyone who was bearish, I think it's fine to be bearish. However, there was red flags, you know. Dollar was weak. Still is weak. YM was very strong. Still is very strong. Gold was very strong, which is inverse to dollar. So you would have really anticipated Nasdaq to move higher. I think this is the same situation as like I don't know if it was Monday or Tuesday where I was like, this is all sus. Like this whole move lower, sus. I would not be surprised if we got a full reversal. Maybe not today, but throughout the week, possibly. Been following since end of June, July, beginning. Can't really comprehend what changed over the last few months. Really enjoying these streams. We'll continue to show up even on Discord streams. Appreciate you, Sonu. See you guys. Take care, brother. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah. You think you'll ever quit trading once you get enough money? Nah. Invest in stocks? I'd rather do both. Chat type 1 if you would crack Gatie. 2 if you wouldn't. What do you mean crack? What does it mean to crack me? What do I mean though? Spamming 1. What does crack mean, bro? Crack equals fuck? Yo, that's crazy, bro. You wouldn't take the 1 minute sit fill at 1029? If dollar was bullish, this is a great trade in my opinion. The only reason I did not take I wouldn't have taken it here. I would have taken it here at 1031 after we close below with a stop loss here. It's a good trade. It's actually my perfect model, 1030 protraction model to the low, potentially previous day low. But dollar was too weak for me at the time, and I don't like that personally. You would have had to fade dollar being weak, and I just didn't want to do that at the time, you know? Especially being today's safety protocol for me, I wanted to make sure all those things aligned. Maybe on another day where it's, you know, not safety protocol. This guy's just spamming 1. At what time does the market start to slow down after the macro times? Usually around this time. However, because we've been really choppy here, there's a good chance that we see a pretty significant price run, whether it's to previous day's low or a reversal in lunch session. Unk isn't familiar with cracking in the big 2025. I don't know who called it cracking, but that shit is weird, bro. Can you explain how you use the dollar in your buys? If dollar is bearish, Nasdaq should be bullish. For example, gold. Gold does the opposite of what dollar does. So if dollar is bearish, gold is bullish. You can see that today. Dollar went down completely, gold went up completely. Let me go to the 5-minute time frame so you can see the contrast. Right? Dollar's been trending, and dollar's been bearish. Complete, perfect synergy, opposite. That's what happens. If dollar goes down, the other stuff goes up, right? Gold was a perfect example of that. So was YM. YM was a perfect example of that. But Nasdaq was not. There was a lack of correlation there. So to me, personally, how do I view that? It's all sus rally. All sus. Super bearish, I agree. I'm not here telling you that this is not absolutely, completely, obviously, blatantly bearish. But it's sus. Because it's out of sync with the YM, which is the leader, and the dollar. And I trust this dollar rally lower because the other stuff was moving lower. Gold. So to me, this is, I don't want to call it manual intervention, but to me, this is like, price was perfectly sent lower, you know, like type stuff. I performed pretty well. Good patience, one really good trade, and really good management. You got stats on when they out of the sync in the win rate? No, I do not have that. That'd be hard to test, but it's low. The probability. That's when you start. It's high resistance immediately. That's how ICT taught it in 2016, 2022, 2023, 2024. That lack of synchrony is high resistance. That's what makes it high resistance. The economic calendar, the time, and the intermarket analysis. If you're bullish on dollar and Nasdaq's making higher highs, that's low probability. How do you overcome revenge trading? Eventually, you realize that revenge trading is only going to make your problems worse. You start losing so much, and you're like, there's really no point in me revenge trading anymore. I'm just guaranteed to lose money. for example, let's say hypothetically you took a trade, you lost, and then you felt revenge. What if I just came up to you and I was like, yo, if you take this revenge trade, your account's going to get blown. Guaranteed, 100%. If you don't trade right now, you come back tomorrow, there's a chance you get a payout. Are you going to trade? No, you're not. But at the time, all you see is red. All you see is you got to make this money back. You don't realize that if I push the button again today, the account's going to get blown. The payout's not going to happen. The passing account is not going to happen. And eventually you just realize that on your own. That's what happened to me. Didn't take much time for me, but how much years of experience does ICT have? Thinking 33. Me this morning wanted to just full pour, but ended up green with patience. That's what I like to hear. I passed my first eval with revenge trading full port. Listen, I'll be honest. Anyone in chat, be honest. Because I have a theory. Has anyone actually ever just completely overtraded, over-leveraged, gambled, and gotten a payout from it? Anyone. Be honest. Don't lie. Don't skew the results. Be honest. Like, you just fully sent it. Like, you just fully sent it. Like, gamble, no logic, minis, over-leveraged, over-traded until you got the payout. I've seen 2 yeses so far. And I don't trust McLovin. That guy be saying weird stuff all the time. You got a 5K payout on top side with it? See, shout out to you. So far, we have 3 on FOMC. I wouldn't even say on FOMC. I'm talking about like more like you lose and then you keep full porting back to get it back. You know, like if you full ported a news, that's kind of different. I passed the full, not eval, payout. Only once in my life hit twin days, sent some micros on CP. No, I don't count news. I'm talking like, guys, I'm talking like, because I know we've all done this. I mean, I have for sure. You trade, you lose, and you feel like you gotta make it back, so you start like taking stupid shit. Like you just start pushing the button, trying to win, like minis, micros, over leverage. Every time you do it, that account does not get a payout. You might as well throw that account in the garbage and come back tomorrow and save the month or week of time. Even if you win that day, you're just gonna end up blowing it another time. Like just guarantee, like you're just not, that account will not see money, period. If it does, 1 in a million, bro. Like 1 in a million. So once you realize that, once you change your narrative where like you think at the time that you're gonna make this money back or you're gonna try to, what you don't think is, you know what? If I push the button, this account is getting blown. Think about it as like a guarantee. Like if I push this button right now, the account is gone. Period. That money I spent is gone. Just throw it out. The account's trash. If you can change your narrative like that, you can kind of stop yourself from over trading, in my opinion. Done that so much, lost like my first 5 fundeds. Same. I've blown many payouts from doing that. How do you guarantee a payout after passing? There is no guarantee, but if you want to make it really easy, I'll be honest, guys. I'm gonna tell you guys, and then I'll call it a day. The absolutely easiest payout: Alpha Future Standard, pass. Risk $100 for 1 to 2R. That's it. No more than 1 to 2R. If you can get positive 3 days, that's it. This is the lowest risk to easiest payout. There is a way to get easier, but you have to full port and you risk blowing the account. So I don't think that's something you want to do. It doesn't get easier than that. It does not get easier than that. Alternatively, you could do it on the 0 account, in which case you'd want to risk around 150 probably. Or if you're like always getting more than 1R, you risk like 125 to 150, maybe 200, and then you 1 to 2R, 5 winning days, request payout, no buffer needed, no, just request. That's it. 5 winning days, that's it. The standard is easier, but if you can do it on the standard, you can do it on the 0. Bro, blowing an account, being up 6K, needed 18 bucks for the Green Day revenge trade and blew it. Yeah, I've been there. Nothing good but revenge. There's nothing good. Like, on 10K account, how much would you risk per trade? What's the drawdown, brother? What do you think on Top Step if Alpha isn't available in my country? Yeah, Top Step's a great option. Why is this dumping so much? I think this is like being hand in the market. You know, I think they're sending this lower. You got 5% draw, so 500. Yeah, I'd probably risk around 50 per trade personally. Max, to be honest. I'd risk like $30 to $50 per trade. if you have $500 of drawdown. Wait, 5%? Yeah, yeah. I risk like 30 to 50 personally. That's what I would do. And what I would do is add into your winners. You can still make a lot of money by risking like even if you risk 25, you can make a lot of money risking just 25. You'd be surprised with a good trade management, pyramiding, scaling into positions, and taking partials. You can do a lot of damage. You can do a lot of damage with 1% risk, bro. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I think previous day's low. You can see that continuation model, very sloppy, high resistance, but it does get there. I personally don't feel like I missed anything, so I feel great about today. Personally, I will journal it very thoroughly. I took the one trade long, closed early, back confirmations, no follow through. Looks like we will get previous day's low. I probably expect so before 11:30, and that's it. So we'll set up I'll set up the journal here for now. Um, Let me just take a quick screenshot of the trade. I always post my trades. Um, so to what jumps to my eye is this right here. So this bearish fair value gap, and then once we got the order block from it, that's what jumps to my eye, especially because that's at 10:30. 10:30 is right there. So the 10:30 protraction model. That's what jumps to my eye. So when I'm journaling this, 10:30 protraction. There are very specific times I look for my model, right? Macros and 10:30. Previous day low flash daily FUG. Um, this inversion fair value gap definitely jumps to my mind as well, or jumps to that. And this is what I'll keep annotated on the chart. We see the new day opening gap in there. Touch macro, and I'll leave it out like that. And yeah, we'll just leave it like that personally. So definitely don't feel like I missed anything because dollar was super weak. But on the line, did you sell because price started selling at the 5-minute? The reason I sold was because one, I knew we were inside a 15-minute CB. So if I was wrong, price would reverse around here, right? That's one. So I was at a point where I don't want to risk that much on the trade anymore. That's one. So I was already breaking even. Maybe I couldn't take a partial because I just had the one contract. What really made me sell was the fact that S&P was looking like this. Like to me, I see this on ES, and immediately I don't think this is gonna move. I think this is this is not what you would. If we were bullish, this is not what you would be seeing. It's just simply not. You would start seeing displacement with fair value gaps, no wicks, clean breaker, strong inversion. You wouldn't see this. Use my liquidity today. I don't know how that's possible, but sure. Whatever makes you happy, bro. I don't think I'll stream PM Kilowan. I do like streaming, but I think I gotta be like peace of mind. Still, still on the live account as well. Got our shorts break even, but happy I went out because it's messy. Yeah, I mean, I don't think. Listen, personally, if you feel like you missed something today, I don't think you missed anything. This short is one, very sloppy. Two, just got a huge expansion right at 9:30. It already makes it really hard to trade once we get something like this. It just makes it hard to trade. Dollar was not confirming any ideas lower on the Nasdaq either. YM was super bullish. Like it was just really, really hard to trade. Yeah, YouTube stream's really good. Appreciate you, Kilowan. Good job today, bro. You too. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys coming through. I personally think we can get a move higher. It's possible, maybe from previous day's low, but we'll have to see. You know, I would focus on this fair value gap on YM, this 15-minute. or I think there's a 30-minute in there. Might be an hourly. There's an hourly in there. Like, I personally do not see this inversing, so you can use that to your advantage. Especially because dollar's weak. So do what you will with that information. Maybe YM makes a higher high. Maybe you trade YM. Maybe this is a long setup right here, man. I don't know. It's possible stuff. Like this is possible. Right? This is very possible. Very, very possible. What was your reason for entering the buy earlier? I took the long because we got a breaker in here. So I'm buying inside that breaker. And I wanted to see the buy side, or at least fair value gaps in here, like these open fair value gaps, at least. But then we got very poor confirmation. Just closed the trade early. I realized it's not a trade I really want to be in. It's not low resistance. I wasn't seeing the confirmations that I wanted to see with the other indices. NASDAQ was looking good, right? But ES was not. So I was very skeptical. So I was already risk-free, but then here I just closed.